Hello everyone, welcome back to the Replay Studio. We're here with another episode of Alice in Borderland, episode 2. Last time on Alice in Borderland, Live or Die. Um, Sounds like an adventure in Las Vegas. And our characters found themselves dropped in this, what I'm assuming is a different world based on just the title Alice in Borderland. And they've faced their first game and survived. It's an accomplishment. However, they barely managed to do it. Uh, I think first and foremost, because the last episode, we've seen several of these adaptations before, survival adaptations before, and you can tell right off the bat, who's gonna be surviving and who likely will not. I mean, for the moment, Arisu, and I'm curious to know, and why he's called Arisu. I understand Alice Arisu, but his father and brother didn't call him that. I think they called him a different name. But when he spoke to his friends, they called him Arisu. So I'm curious to know why there's a difference. I don't know if that's an alias that his friends use for him, or if that is his actual name. But anyway, so I mean, Arisu is definitely he's gonna be necessary for them to survive this game, to say the least. I'm not sure how far Chota is gonna get, and Karubi, physically he's very brawly, so he'll make do. But I still don't trust that girl. I did not catch her name, but hopefully I won't have to remember it very long because I don't know. As I said, whenever you arrive in a world like this, you never trust the first person that shows up. And she seems to be way too knowledgeable about the game itself, which does confirm, especially with the guy passing out at the very end of the last episode. It confirms that there's some difference in the time in terms of when everyone arrives. Some people appear to have been playing the game longer than others. It would have been good if that guy, just before dying, told them what they needed to know. But I think she knows enough, certainly enough that she can manipulate people into doing her bidding, because she did try to get them to open the doors early on, and someone died. So that seems to be her, what her ability in this sense, her skill, is to manipulate people to do what she wants them to do. Um, I don't know how she's gonna do that, considering she it worked for her the first time because these are new guys, but I don't see that working for people who have been playing the game for a while. No one's gonna fall for that. So it only works on amateurs, on the people who've just come into the game. Sorry. So she can say, open the door for me, and they will. But I'm interested to see how she's gonna survive going forward, because that will not work again. But she seems to have attached herself to our team, and I'm willing to bet that she does that, with every new team that comes in, because that helps her to survive. She doesn't seem to have any skill to use otherwise to survive the game. Although, I mean, from what the guy that died, had his passport expired and said, it doesn't matter how many times you win, there is no end to the game. So it's just survival. It's just survival, guys. Anyway, episode 2, let's check it out. Rock climbing. I've always wanted to do it, and I never have, because I'm afraid of dying. And I'm sorry, that is not very comforting. It's not. It's not. At any given point, it could snap, and that could be you. I mean, I'm sure it doesn't happen that frequently, but you may be that one statistic. I will not be. Alright? I'm not doing it. Okay. It's the girl from the end of the last episode. Her skills would likely come in handy here. Cars don't work. I mean, if people have been here very long, then the gas is they're probably already siphoned off any gas that might be in any of these cars or stolen parts that they may need. So not gonna happen, man. Good idea. Really? Are you joking?
Zombie?
Oh well, of course. He definitely needs weapons, just not for that.
ねえ、3人は何してたの？人が消えた時。
トイレに。
Long story. Ah. Okay. Married man. Ah, that's a euphemism I've never heard before. You know, it's interesting. It's something that I've only seen in Asian films or TV shows where the guy is cheating on his wife and he's sleeping with someone else. He takes his ring off as though that's supposed to be some modicum of respect. You're cheating. It doesn't matter if you have the ring on or not. It's just weird. But I've seen it happen before. I'm like, I don't get it. So, she was banging her boss. Trying to climb the ladder, right? Corporate ladder, I guess. At this point, anything is possible. I check back what I said about Shota. He seems to be... He has a basic understanding of electrical engineering as well. So hope he survives. I hope he does. Why is she being so nice? Let the games begin. Alright, the girl's in this one. And a lot more people. Damn, a lot of old people too. Sorry for them. This does feel like a Black Mirror episode. Nobody seems to be sharing information, but it works because if you're more experienced than everyone else, it helps for them to remain in the dark because it increases your likelihood of surviving the less they actually know. So because you can take advantage of their lack of knowledge. So no one wants to say anything, but it's just cruel. But again, survival. Okay. Guy in a hoodie, the emo guy. There's always one. But the problem with bonding with people and making a larger group is that you may end up having to sacrifice someone at a certain point. Yeah, he already looks suspicious. Just his appearance. Okay. Oh, that one's obvious.
厄介。
人の心をもてあそぶ裏切りのゲーム。
Interesting. So I'm curious as to whether cards like aces, kings, queens, or even the Joker even prevalent here. We've only seen a number so far. Did someone hear?
制限時間内にマンションの一室にある陣地を見つけタッチすることができたらクリア。制限時間20分。
That's not a lot of
10
time.
分後、建物内にある時限爆弾が
That is not a lot of time. See, one person alone can't do this.
私も最近ずーっと祈りっぱなし。
What is she up to?
俺は信じてないっす。母ちゃんが昔からずっと宗教にハマってて。
You know she wasn't praying. Just said that because she wants him to think they have something in
喧
common.
嘩強くて女にモテて、アリスは頭良くて実家ちゃんとしてて。俺なんて家は貧
I
乏だ
mean,
し、
Chota seems pretty knowledgeable with electronics and stuff. So I don't get why he's putting himself down like that. And of the two, he seemed to have had his shit together a bit more. He had a job at least.
人のやつとつるみたがる。安心だから。これがあるんだよ。
God, Nisha is up to something.
あいつらは違う。
じゃあ長太くんは死ねる
What's the plan here?
友達の。
I mean, have sex with all of them and hope they kill themselves in a game for you?
スタート位置が選べるなら、ここしかないでしょ。
So he can see what rooms everyone else is checking. Smart. Who's the tagger? This is not the Derbies. Oh, she's good. Maybe I should pick up, rock climbing. Prepare me for these games, should they happen. Move it, people, move it. I guess this is the tiger. Of course. Now they're moving. Yeah. This is how you should have been moving when the game started. Do not make a sound. Moving pretty slowly. Take advantage of him. Turn him against his friends. If they are his real friends, then that won't work, but I guess this will be the true test of their friendship.
生きるために。
Well, the good news is, Garubi made a joke at the beginning. At least he won't die a virgin. Okay? Silver lining. And this guy only seems to be moving in one direction. Oh, he can only see in front of him. I'm wondering if he can even hear, as a matter of fact. Yeah, all they have to do is just tell each other where he's at while they're checking you through. She listened. Ah.
おおクライマーやるね
She's good. That explains why he's moving as slowly as he's moving. Take that back. You can shoot across. Stop whimpering and get out of there. Arisu's gonna get himself killed or someone because I get a feeling he's gonna keep trying to help everyone, and you can't help everyone. It's just not gonna happen. Or he's gonna get one of his friends killed trying to help someone else. You don't bring a knife to a gunfight. I don't know how's that gonna work. Okay. He knows quite a bit. Armbands. Go on the offensive. Not a bad idea. It's better this way. Divide and conquer.
ブロックと6階の南と東は確認した。
Alright, some people are working together.
まだ1階と2階は確認できてない。
了解。
That may not work for every game, but it's definitely worth it in this one. I like her. I wouldn't want to be the bait.
Hey, play!
You're too close. Isn't he just gonna shoot you? Sacrificing it. I guess it's an easier battle if he runs out of ammo. Why didn't you spray? That would have been a much better idea. Don't let him reload. Oh, damn. I guess he was right. He's a fighter. Breeze. Listen. Go through. Must have missed something. Maybe even at the very beginning where you guys started. Door he was shooting at. That's the only time he's actually tried to shoot across the building. Because they didn't want anyone to go inside. This dude is an asshole. He could have told everyone else this if he figured it out. And he's not the one opening the door. Why is he? Why not? Good point.
まだ何かありそうだね。
Is it rigged?
でも開けないと。
What? He keeps saying if you don't open it. He's not offering to open it himself. Could be kills the first person that opens the door or something. I almost missed it. Alright, so he is useful. Alright, are these people... The other one took a couple stabbings and got up like it was nothing, and this one just... Of course, there had to be two. So you can't win the game alone. He's too far away and he's injured. I'm gonna still have this guy do it. The hell are these guys made of? He's not even bleeding from the stab wounds from earlier. Gotta get in close since his field of vision is narrowed. Don't wait. Come on. This guy's tough. What? Why didn't you do it yourself? Hit it. 1 second. I'm sorry, but that dude is an asshole. He's had several opportunities to get in there and help himself. Not dead. What are these guys made of? Okay. Woman in this instance. Jeez. They're all a part of the game too. I guess their objective was to kill everyone before the time ran out. And he's gone. They should take the weapons. I don't think he was out of ammo. He had clips with him. Take the guns from both of them. Alright, there we have it. Episode 2 of Alice in Borderland. We got some answers, you know, this episode. And some people have revealed their character. I mean, the girl, of course, I disliked her since the very first episode. Well, not so much disliked as distrusted her. But now I dislike her, right? She's clearly just there to manipulate Shota into, I guess, turning against his friends. Although, I don't know what the objective, what would the end game be, right? Say she doesn't manage to say, okay, you need me more than you do your friends, and, you know, what's the plan? Because Shota can't participate in the games because he's injured, right? When when it's time for their visa to expire, they'll both need to go to a game. Um, that doesn't necessarily mean his friends will be in that game, but of course they won't let him go alone. So maybe that's what she's counting on. My thing is just, um, this is all dependent on him either killing himself in her stead, or in a situation where he would end up killing one of his friends to save her. Um, None of which I don't think he's dumb enough to do. Who knows? Maybe the sex is that good. But I don't know. He's injured. Even if he could take one of them out, I don't see how he'd do that in his current state. But and even after that, what's the plan? Sleep with every single person in the game and hope that helps you survive. I mean, use what you. I guess use the tools that you have. And in her instance, she has her body, so why not, right? So we'll see how that works out. Obviously that's her objective. I don't like her because she's trying to turn him against his friends, and while they're out there trying to find help for him, So hopefully he sees through it. Maybe not. Yeah, because from everything we've seen, he's clearly, his entire life, seeing what his mother has done, and he has a very complicated backstory. So who knows what he'll end up doing. We did get some answers in the form of that there are other participants in the game who aren't necessarily have the same objectives as you do going into the game. So I mean, here we had the taggers who had a different objective. Their objective was to, I'm imagining, killing everyone before the time runs out, while our characters needed to find a safe zone and prevent the place from being blown up. So clearly whoever divides this game has a twisted sense of humor, but it works. Yeah, we met some interesting characters that I'm not sure if we'll see them again or not. The ex-military dude or military dude there who was fighting hand to hand with one of the taggers. He was able to, determine some of their characteristics just by seeing them fight or seeing them shoot, and so from his demeanor, someone was already following him. I get the feeling he's been playing the game a while, and he seemed to know what to expect. So I think he's been playing the game for a while. And there's the other guy, the blonde hair. I like him, but I simultaneously don't like him because he was smart enough to know he needed to find a vantage point to see everything that is happening. But at the same time, in every instance that once he got to the room itself, he wasn't willing to act on his own. He kept pushing Arisu to open the door, when that could very well have been a trap. It was a trap, but it could have been a bomb or something, for the first person who opened the door. And he was pushing him to open the door. And then when they got inside and realized it was a trap, he had other opportunities while Arisu was struggling with that tagger inside to tase him. And he waited until the girl got inside and gave it to her, even though she was, right in front of the tagger and most likely could have been hit. So he seems a bit of an opportunist, but smart at the same time. So we'll see. I was hoping that maybe the real estate agent would have been that person, because it was like, I survived 5 games. And he was coming in and telling them, what the clubs represent, the diamonds, which are, wit, test your wit, and the heart, which I think is self-explanatory in that it forces you to make difficult decisions based on emotions. And I thought he was going to stick around, but no, got taken out a few minutes in. So we're slowly learning more and more about this world. And of course, the girl that was at the end of the last episode, we still haven't gotten her name, but she's killing it so far. She's doing a good job. And I did not think there would be any circumstances under which rock climbing skills could come in handy, but it works. I imagine it would work in a zombie apocalypse as well. So it's a good tool to have. It's a good skill to have. So as to whether or not these characters will return is another thing. I mean, clearly everyone doesn't feel as though working as a team, as a group, works in all instances. The blonde guy said it was best to work alone, although this game called for someone else to be present. The military guy immediately divide and conquer, you know. But at the same time, when everyone walked in for the first time and there was this newbie there asking him questions about the world, and because he just got here, and I think this was his first game, no one would answer, and clearly some of them have the knowledge. But as I said in the reaction itself, it makes sense because the more you know, the more of an advantage you are versus everyone else that is there, and they can serve as bait while you get to the whatever the objective is, so it works to your advantage. So I think each game you kind of have to decide what the best approach is going to be, but initially go solo, and then if the game demands it, then you work as a group. I think that is the best approach because anyone at any given time could stab you in the back. The military guy did the same thing there with his buddy, the guy that was following him. He just sacrificed him and let him get shot because it's an easier fight if the guy has to reload. So yeah, trust no one. So we've learned more about the world. We've been introduced to some characters. I don't know if we'll be seeing them again. I imagine we'll see the girl again because she was shown in the last episode and she's in this one as well, and she was willing to work with Arisu and his team, so we may see her again. I'm not sure about the rest, but I guess it depends on the game and when their visa expire, because this was what, 5 of clubs, I think it was. So they've gotten some days added to their visa, but maybe they didn't need it, or maybe they did need it, but they may see them again, but in later games, depending on when their visa expires. Our team has gotten a few more days, except Shota and the other chick. They would have 2 days remaining now, I think. So I think there's a betrayal coming somewhere with those two, so it's going to be tough. But I cannot wait. Be sure to post down below in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are on this episode. Hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the next one.